Months after hosting the Ghanaian president, Barbados intends to have a presence in the West African nation. Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Ryan Strawn, says the island will be opening its mission to Accra soon. He provided the update as he led off debate on the second reading of the Land Tax Amendment Bill. That mission, according to Mr. Strawn, forms part of government's outreach to leverage opportunities for Barbadians.
The reality is, sir, that there are opportunities taking place are being made available on the continent. We have started to engage actively on that, sir, and we are always saying, sir, is that for Barbadians, as we are continuing to do some of the work that was left over for us, we are breaking new ground, sir. We are breaking new ground in order to transition this country, sir, and to look to whence we came with a new eye of opportunity, sir. A new eye of kinship.
Meanwhile, Minister in the Ministry of Economic Affairs and Investment, Marcia Cattle, says investment in the tourism sector is coming from both local and foreign players. She says several projects are to come on stream within the next 12 to 18 months.
That, sir, is why we have, for example, as part of that strategic reinvestment in Carlisle Bay, we have work starting at the pier head. We have an application for a major development there by a regional investor. We have, for example, the former Caribbean Hotel, which will now be rebranded Indigo, which we also anticipate will start by the middle of 2020. We have investors who are willing to put and aiming to put a 20 million renewal investment in the Hilton. We have a new deal on Paradise.
St. Lucie farmers could be facing hundreds of thousands of dollars in losses as a result of heavy flooding over the weekend. The estimate from Vice President of the Spring Hall Farmers Association, Dujon Edwards. He says while some farmers are still assessing the damage now that the water is receding, there are others who experienced total losses.
Tomatoes, sweet peppers, pumpkin on the ground. There were pumpkin literally floating away to the sea on Saturday, and that is a loss to farmers. Farmers also have cultivation damage where they're new cultivated the fields, and a lot of that has been washed flat.
Mr. Dujon was speaking to the media on the sidelines of a meeting with the association's members at the Darrell Jordan Secondary School. He says 2019 has been a very bad year for the vegetable and fruit tree farmers who have been battling severe drought conditions. He's hoping government and other entities like the Food and Agriculture Organization will provide assistance with replanting.
Actually, our first set of crops from the drought period, and you will know that we are still on 2 hours of ration of water, and these are crops that we know manage and fought with to get to this stage of harvesting, and then to turn around now and have them wash away. So we are hoping to achieve some assistance from government.
Nestled in the heart of Bridgetown, #246 brings to you the iconic Chamberlain Bridge. Now, the Chamberlain Bridge we know today is a modern piece of technology, state-of-the-art. It's a lifting bridge which allows vessels to go from the inner to the outer basin of the Careenage, and from the outer to the inner basin as well. But before that, all the way back in 1628, that's where this whole thing started. When the original colonizers came from Britain, they were met by a wooden structure that's thought to be built by the Arawaks, a wooden bridge to get off the Careenage. So at that time, that was the wooden structure, that bridge in Barbados, and that's actually how Bridgetown got its name. That's how the area got its name, because one of the most recognizable parts of the area was that wooden structure built by the Arawaks. In 1872, that structure was rebuilt to the what is affectionately known as the swing bridge. Joseph Chamberlain, who was the Secretary of State of the colonies, he was very instrumental in getting the funding to rebuild that wooden structure that the Arawaks made all the way back in 1628 into the swing bridge. The swing bridge at the time was 39-foot steel structure. Guys would stand with the shaft and they would turn the shaft to allow the vessels to go in and out of the careenage. In 1990, the swing bridge was renamed the Chamberlain Bridge, of course in honor of Joseph Chamberlain. As we told you, he donated very, very much towards the finances of getting the bridge rebuilt. The bridge that we see today, this modern state-of-the-art bridge, was rebuilt in 2005 and completed in 2006.
Hashtag 246 was brought to you with the kind compliments of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation.
Here's a tip from Cooperators General Insurance.
This tip of the day is brought to you by Cooperators General Insurance Company Limited. Insurance the way you want it to be.
Did you know? The word criminology was first used in the 1850s and first taught in universities in 1890. It comes from the Latin crimen, which means crime, and the Greek word logos, which means reason or study. This tip is brought to you in association with the Criminal Justice Research and Planning Unit, keeping an eye on crime.